Hello and welcome. We are going to talk about Maestro World War M #2. I was really hoping the sun would pop back out from the clouds and give us some more light here, but whatever. The sun doesn't want to cooperate. That's okay. First thing I'm going to tell you, I really like the look of the cover. The giant sea monster looks awesome. Better yet, the giant sea monster is in the book. Truth in advertising. These are things that comic books don't always do, and they don't always do well. Sometimes you end up with a lame cover that just looks stupid. Sometimes you end up with a cover that has nothing to do with what's in the book. I think I vaguely recall a case of where there was like a Spider-Man book and they randomly had like a Jim Lee Hulk sketch on the cover like 10 years ago because Marvel owned the rights to it, so they're like, we got to use this Jim Lee cover. I could be misremembering, but I think that happened. Anyway, Maestro. First impressions. The book feels terrible. This cover stock is the interior stock. I feel like ink. I feel like ink is coming off on my thumb. I don't know that I can see it, but I feel like it. Like I feel it on my thumb after doing that. So don't touch this book too much. You will destroy the book by touching it. By reading it, you're actively destroying it. Even more than a normal comic. Like, if I pick up this, it's an indie book. It's got kind of a flexible cardstock cover. It's not like a super glossy coated cover. It's a matte coat. But it still feels good in the hand. Like, it still feels good. Here, this is a 20-something-year-old indie book that I got out of the 75-cent bin. It's got, like, some glossy paper. I don't feel like the ink is coming off in my hands. This book, I feel like it. I feel like as I touch this book, the ink is transferring out of my hands. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what it feels like. All right. You might remember the last issue, the Human Torch over here on the left totally burned down Maestro, or at least attempted to. So now he's heading home to Atlantis. Maestro's following him. Maestro's got a lot of narration. But who is he? He's not Johnny Storm, that's for sure. I remember there was a Human Torch in World War II. Is this who that is? Yeah, thanks for telling the audience, because I guess the audience didn't know who he was. Also, man, deep sea fish are creepy. That's a real thing. This is real, man. I remember seeing those kind of things in books I had when I was a kid that had all kinds of different animals in them. I loved reading that kind of stuff. So Hulk finds the undersea city, Pacifica. The Human Torch is over here reporting back in. Yeah, I killed the Hulk. I got him. Boom, I leveled Maestro and LA. But of course, he's wrong. And now, we're going to get to the best bit. There's some action, there's some combat. It's a little unsatisfying, I gotta admit. Maestro always seems to win a little too easily whenever he's fighting somebody. And it feels unsatisfying. We know he's the strongest guy here, so we know he's going to win. It's not like if Spider-Man was doing the same exact thing, it would have a little more weight to it, because Spider-Man isn't always stronger than the people Spider-Man is fighting. Quite often, Spider-Man is weaker than the people he's fighting. But Spider-Man, he's got his dodginess, he's got his smarts, and he knows how to use everything he's got, so it gives him an advantage and he can, struggle and overcome. Maestro, we know that Maestro is the strongest guy in the room. Which is why I love the giant sea monster. See, I told you, truth in advertising right there. So they have a confrontation, little words together, and then the fighting starts in earnest. Now, I said the fighting was kind of unsatisfying, and it is, but it also is a lot of fun. So despite, it may be not filling me up, the way I would like, it's like, oh yeah, I read it, and I'm hungry for more now. I need to go read another comic book. That's kind of how it feels. I need to go read something with a little more kind of violence going on. But it was still pretty good. It was fun to read. It was fun to look at. It looked nice. This giant monster looks awesome. Namor looks pretty cool. Namor's family looks pretty cool. Pacifica looks pretty cool. Everything looks pretty cool. And yeah, I just didn't like the way the fight ended. I guess it's like the fight itself was fine, and I didn't have a problem with it. It was the way the fight ended that I had a problem with. And I'm not going to say what happened there because I don't want to spoil it. But I honestly, this is the most fun I've had reading Maestro books since like issue 1 or 2. I don't know if that makes sense. And maybe I've said something like that, before because I like gaslit myself into believing that I really had a lot of fun. But no, this one was actually a lot of fun. And if we could just get like Maestro fighting super people all the time and less of Maestro gloating about it, I think I would be like 110% more on board. Hey, can we get the Maestro vs. Cool and Goth? I'd like to watch that one. Alright, anyway, you all take care of yourselves. This is actually kind of worth picking up despite the completely garbage quality of the paper it's printed on. This feels terrible in your hands, but it's a good book, so maybe wait for the trade paperback or just read it digitally or something and avoid this physical ickiness. Bye-bye.